Second series of the day is all tied up as Method and Trick Esports are facing off, and both teams have been able to grab a win. First game, Method looked pretty darn strong and shut down Trick Esports at every single turn. But going to game number 2, Trick Esport has found their own footing and they're able to get their own win. And they still have a chance to go to the Western Clash here, it looks like.
Yeah, on the last leg at this point, but they can still pull it off. They need to win 2, and then they also need Fnatic to deliver tomorrow against Team Liquid.
Hard scenarios as we go into week number 5. Did not think it would be this close, neck and neck, but I guess when we look at it week after week, we always say so much death in EU, we see games go to the wire, blah, 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 and that really does ring true here as we come into week number 5, and we actually see how close and tight-knit these series are.
Again, the craziest scenario that we had was that Zealot might have this tiny chance of going to the Western Clash. And the one thing that nobody really expected was that they would win against Dignitas, and also with a 3-1. And then that alone all of a sudden put them in a position where they are looking pretty good to go to the Western Clash. So there's a very good chance for them right now, but Method has to deliver first. Method needs to win one more map, and that would mean that Trick is out of the run for the Western Clash spot. But that would still, of course, keep Team Liquid in a position where they can grab it. But now we're focusing on this series, and this is where Trick takes Infernal Shrines as the first map.
Going to Infernal Shrines. Third map as mentioned. First pick going over to Method. This is a battleground that we normally saw Method take members to, it felt like, moving into Infernal Shrines a lot. The first couple of weeks, it was one of their go-to maps. Didn't get the many wins on it. I think they were pretty close to match wins, right?
They're 3-2, so they're 60% win ratio, and you are correct. It's one of the maps where they took opponents to. They chose it 3 times, Method that is. And the only other map that they picked more often is Infernal Shrines, where they have a Dragonshire, where they have a 4-0 track record, but that's of course the map that Trick banned out for exactly that reason.
So we're going to Infernal Shrines, a battleground that we've seen Method strong on, and we'll see how exactly Trick Esports intends to break them down.
They have exactly the same track record.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of the teams have 3 wins, 2 losses, and both of the teams have chosen the map 3 times so far.
So it's all about those top laners, the control, floating around the shrines, make sure to clear it out. We've seen Tychus in his Odin form be pretty strong. In the past, we even had Method pull out the Alexstrasza. Not any success with her, but the idea of transforming your hero into that big moment, whether it be a Ragnaros core or even the Tychus Odin, and coming in there and just clearing out the shrines is a strong tactic, and we might see it here in the draft. Yeah,
and with the draft, this is also where we have seen Malthael picked by Team Tricked. So this is a map where they played Malthael with very aggressive backliners that were more on the squishy side. And the whole idea was to play an Uther and Malthael composition, or Rhaegar and Malthael, let Malthael go in really deep, focus the attention of the opponent on himself, and then allow the backline damage dealers to really dish out the pain. So normally we see still the ban on Abathur here. I'm actually really surprised that Trick waits this long. We could see them break the pattern, because every single time they played on this map, 5 times, they banned Abathur without exception. And right now they're hesitating.
They're thinking about a Tracer ban? Or maybe a Blaze ban? Is that what they're considering here?
They might. I'm really surprised, because we've been talking about how they are very predictable in their bans on Abathur and how that in the long run could hurt them. But they do it again. Abathur again taken, so they can't react to anything that their opponent does. Blaze immediately first picked by Team Method. That's the second time that they are first picking Blaze on the run.
Yeah. Tracer also falls off a tad bit in terms of priority here with the battleground. Kind of hard to have a lot of control around an area that requires sustain, as Tracer doesn't really sustain too much. If you have Malfurion to pair with them, you're good, but Tracer looking for burst kills, and that's typically not where you're going to see drafted on this battleground.
Yeah, we have not seen Tracer played by Method, but Trick played her once on the map, and they lost with her. So again, wave clear, of course, obviously matters. Genji Tyrael taken by Trick.
Dive City. Set up already for Trick Esport.
By the way, the story of Genji just continues. As we said before, in our earlier series on the 4 maps played, Genji had 2 wins and 2 losses. Now we've seen him again twice, and he lost both games. Genji's track record in Europe is just not good. Not at all.
What is that? Is it the combination of people being able to stop and understand him? Is it he feels good but just isn't getting the wins? What is that? Why is he falling so hard?
I think there's a couple of aspects to it. First of all, we are having... I mean, the meta overall just has significantly changed. And back then, when Genji was so dominant, we had a lot of double support compositions. I feel that made it a lot easier to keep him alive in those situations. And another aspect is also that teams have learned, at least in Europe, to deal with him way better. You have with Blaze a very good tool that you can use whenever his ult is out, whenever the Dragon Blade is out. Tyrael against him is also quite nice because the extra shields and then maybe even with the sound barrier helps you to survive as well. And then we are seeing now more CC being stacked against him. So I think the teams have just... It's experience of where they learned and also the shift in meta that we've seen since the big changes at the end of 2017 have just put him in a spot where it's more difficult to find value with him. He's still strong.
Yeah.
Or he can still be very strong, but teams have now started to realize, and we see that with him dropping in priority, that he is not that necessarily top pick in every position where you have to either first ban him or first pick him. Because keep the first, let's say, 3 play days in mind. We had him basically, I think he was banned in 85% of the games, which was absolutely nuts. And first picked in the other 15%. So by now, we see him fall off a lot more.
Well, as we continue down the draft, we've gotten a few picks in. Uther and Diablo coming in for Method. A Thorough going to show off as Diablo once again. Kerrigan banned out by Trick Esports, identifying, okay, the times that we have seen Kerrigan, it's been with Blaze, and she's good on this Battleground 2 for helping clear out the shrines to take away that option completely. Method answers back with a Malthael ban. Yeah. Seeing as they have a Diablo and a Blaze on the opposing side, pretty easy value for Malthael to get, so they take him away.
Yeah, it's also exactly what I talked about earlier. The times that Trick played Malthael, they played him on this map. And they always made sure that they have backliners that can really benefit from him drawing attention of the opponent's team. So very good research from both teams here. You talked about Kerrigan here, banned out for the same reason. And there's Hanzo. So that setup that they have here, with Malthael, that would have been exactly what Trick played so far on the map, and they have always put the opponents in very awkward positions when that was the case. I'm actually wondering what we're going to see for Alex now, because this could be one of those diva games. I mean, with Alex, we're always talking about crazy picks. Well, maybe not crazy, but more unorthodox picks that feature, that cater towards their playstyle.
Yeah.
And if they get anything now into the fights around the shrines where they can draw the attention away from Hanzo and Genji, I think they would be in a very comfortable spot for what they are trying to do.
For me, I'm leaning towards Arts a little bit. I feel like there's not very much anti-dive on the opposing side. Sure, Tyrael's good enough with the shields.
Yeah.
But I want to see the damage first. If there's some burst damage here from Method, Diva falls off dramatically because they're getting poked down pretty quickly. Is annoying to deal with.
I mean, that's why you take it on last.
Yeah, exactly.
You can react.
Exactly. So we'll see what Method moves into. Gul'dan has been banned out. I would normally lean towards the Gul'dan. In fact, I'd probably have him picked by now. It's going to be Tychus coming in and Leoric for Method.
Okay, no Dehaka this time. Tychus again. That immediately makes me also like think about potentially Ragnaros again. Again, North America likes to do that. They play Alexstrasza, Ragnaros, and Tychus on this map, and oftentimes it's the teams trying to pick them away from each other just so that they don't have all these tools that can secure the final picks on the final minion picks on the shrine.
Alex is thinking about it.
Sonya.
My blades are yours.
She's getting some love today. I'm liking it.
Yeah, 2 games now. 1 win already.
Yeah, Sonya was such a high priority pick in middle of 17. Super often picked and extremely popular, especially on this map because she gets so much spinning done. How much CC do we actually have? We have Uther, with a fair amount actually that we see for Method where they can try and deal with her. But also Rake, of course, for
Blaze,
the Ancestral.
Diablo can interrupt the Whirlwind, no problemo. Tychus can at least knock her back, can't interrupt.
It's a bit scary what Method has here.
They have a really durable front line. Triple tank here. Wave clear out the Wahoo between Leoric and Blaze. Tychus to clear out the Shrine. I think I'll lean towards Method here when it comes to control. Now there is dive available obviously for the opposing team and engage that can be forced with the Dragon's Arrow. But in terms of just looking at the map and heroes in their individual rosters, this looks good here for Method. There's
a bit of a lack of CC that we are seeing for Trick now as well. It's a huge lack of CC, actually.
Spear, slows, Dragon Arrow. We'll see how it pays off here.
But no direct stuns, and the Dragon Arrow... Well, the Dragon Arrow is your most direct stun, but outside of that, if you compare to the amount of CC on Method side,
Yeah.
it's not really a lot. But we're going to find out if Method takes the map or if it's going to be Trick Esports that takes the 2-1 lead in the series.
On the left side, in the blue, a Thorough playing Diablo, Schwimpy on Leoric, Nick on Tychus, Arcaner on Blaze, and Curson playing Uther.
All right, at this point, we're having to the right side. Crosby on Hanzo, Alex the Pro G on Sonya, Rimmerball on Tyrael, Gran Paquetto on Rega, and Make on Genji.
Level 1 pickup here for Uther. Curson moving into Hammer of the Lightbringer. Basic attacks enemy 75 times, and you get the cooldown of Hammer of Justice reduced by 1.5 seconds. Buying into this idea of more CC coming in. Gonna be seeing what he can pull off with that. Also, you restore some mana as well, so gonna keep up with the CC consistently. So Method looking to lock down targets. Who are they gonna find? Will they be able to lock down that Genji? Diablo obviously will be the one to start the main fight, and he's actually already starting here. Thorough goes in, flip over the wall, drag to the side, Grandpa Kit dead in the first 40 seconds of the game.
Yeah, really nice kill here. Well done by Diablo. And that, again, Diablo has so much potential, and he's actually showing up in Europe more and more. It was for a time that we only saw him by certain teams, and Fnatic was probably the team that played the most Diablo here. But then he was played together with Hanzo, and we saw that setup that Zealots used in the past. We saw Dignitas pick him up. Now we're seeing Method with him. And he can be such a massive bully on Infernal Shrines. It's really, especially since you have all the debris where you can push people into. His CC is fantastic, and if you have follow-up for that, it's really difficult to deal with. And that's actually what I'm worried about the most for Trick.
Especially all the targets they have on the opposing side. They're all low health. Level 13, level 16, double slams. They're chunked down. Suddenly you have Tychus come in with an overkill, and they're dead, just like that. So I'm very curious to see how that will pan out. Trick Esport will have to be on their toes, especially around these shrines, where you have a lot of those areas for Diablo to be effective. Sonya taking a bit of a beating here as Method goes in for an aggressive play. Able to get out, but still, Method showing that they're willing to bring the fight to Trick.
Yeah, they can't get the kill here, though, but we have, again, Trick starting to pressure through the bot lane a bit, and they already took one of the camps away. That helps them to pressure the wall slightly. Athera and Nick are immediately dealing with the situation, though, in the earlier level 4 talent. Gives them a slight lead here as well. It makes it a bit unlikely that Trick is engaging into anything, but their own camp is now giving them experience enough to get the level 4 themselves. For Sonya, we have on level 1 already a block taken, and then the Hurricane straight on 4. And that's an important one, but the engage is coming, and Gran Paquete is low, and he falls. Nice invade by Method. They get the camp, and they get the kill, and that is the second time that Rega falls.
Poor Grandpa Kit, having a hard time there. Taken out pretty quickly. Good follow-up there by Arcaner, bringing in the Blaze, land the Jet Propulsion to land right when a Thorough had just slammed Rhaegar on the ground, making it to extend the stun duration. And then, of course, Curson falling up for that kill. And the Experience Lead jumping up pretty aggressively here for Method, with a wall broken down, a well taken in the middle. Method running with this game so far.
Yeah, they definitely are. And if they now also get the Shrine at the top and get even farther ahead in experience, then Trick is in for a world of pain, because they would probably play a majority of this game from behind, and that's really not where you want to be on Infernal Shrines. So in an ideal world, they can fight for this now, but Blaze is pushing out the bot lane, and the level 7 talent will hit for Method so fast that they should have an easy time securing the first Punisher.
Alrighty, Leo on there. A nice lead of 7-0. Trick thinking about setting up a gank here in the middle lane, but it is Blaze. He has quite the health pool, and with no CC, something that we pointed out in the draft. Not an easy pickup there. Very timid / slow reactions here to Trick Esports. They're just looking to get towards 10, it looks like, and open the map in other ways. Also wanting 7-2 to help out and stay even on talents.
Yeah, they're trying to split out to soak the experience in all 3 lanes, but Method is reacting quite quickly. They lose out on a few minions, but not really too much. They get the experience in the middle, they get the experience at the bottom, and in the meantime, they still have Leo up on the top, getting ahead in the minion count. And Schwimpy has by now taken a solid lead for his team, sitting at 33 already. He's moving out without any problem whatsoever. Kirsten is also there, so the situation is not getting any better for Trick. We're seeing the Punisher taken, and yeah, Cleanse had to be used to keep Rema alive as well, as the Punisher is now starting to move in. And Blaze is still pushing the lanes out.
Blaze can double soak here. He can leave 4 in the top, and Method's doing so. They open the wall on the side. This allows Diablo to move on in, try and find somebody depending against the wall if the Punisher were to go forward. Trick Esport backs up, knowing they're in trouble, and the big min wave in a Punisher pushing on in. Method might be able to grab more than just a wall. They're looking for a fort.
Yeah, and they are going to get this one too. And they are massively ahead right now. Only 4 or 5 minutes into the game, and they are already at a nearly 2-level lead, which is insanely impressive. The Auric is moving into the mid lane together with Blaze, and they have such a melee-heavy setup. It's, again, what Dignitas played earlier. You have so many melees at this point that, in this case, it's also difficult for your opponent to gauge into you. So they're just playing exactly this game. And it works well for them. The amount of CC alone is already fantastic, and they have the offlaners that can easily soak experience. It's a crazy early level 10, and then they can invade the camps whenever they want.
They have the fort in the middle down to half health already, too. Method is about to hit level 10, and they should be able to snatch this away from Trick Esport, taking away their tier 1 defense. Also the wells, though. That's the most important part. If the next shrine spawns in the middle, and it does, Method should be able to control this shrine and eventually take it if it's staying out, especially with Odin coming online.
Yeah, and I mean, they just paint the map blue. They go from camp to camp now, and they take the camps away. They can also commit, as you said, to the fort in the mid lane. For Tricked, it's all about trying to get experience before the next shrine activates so that they hit level 10 themselves. But if by that time, Method has already claimed the fountains and maybe taken a few of the forts out, that's already half the damage done. So it's a really uncomfortable situation for Tricked now. 2 levels behind, and they lose even more structures now at the bot lane.
Okay, well, they need to soak 10. That's goal number 1. Ooh, they might find some experience here as they go for Schwimpy. Schwimpy, the last second jumps off. Make follows it up. There's some experience. That's very helpful for them.
But they lose the mid fort, and they're going to lose the bot fort.
Does hurt.
Middle, they might just be able to save now that Sonya moves in. Yeah, they get the rest in. Cam can't push through. But the fountain is lost. The bottom fort is destroyed. So they get level 10, so they can fight for the shrine itself. But as you said before, the fountains are taken out. There's no retreat path, which means that during the fight, you cannot reset.
Method shouldn't be able to get to level 13, so Trick Esport will still have a chance here to fight, at least with heroic abilities. They can get a quick kill, find a target, preferably a support or Odin, land that Dragon's Arrow, move in for the engage. That's where they can start to really get back in this game, take away the shrine and get a Punisher. But their goals have to be clear and concise, as Method continues to control.
Yeah, this could be level 13 for them soon. We still don't have it announced. If they get the fort in the mid lane, if they somehow can commit to it, I think Method can go for 13 here even. If they see heroes on one of the off lanes and they just make a quick rotation into the middle, they could potentially take it down and claim the early 13. Yeah, I think even without it, they should have enough to get 13 in time. They're already moving into the middle, as we saw Schwimpy attack. Entomb hits Alex, but that's not going to be enough. Ethereal does not take the opportunity to dash in for it. The arrow on Hanzo comes out, though. That's a big cooldown burned here as well. Entomb is going to be back a lot faster than that. And just look at the experience as the shrine is coming in. Up to the top, we have a wave pushing in. That should be level 10 for them. Sorry, level 13.
Well, Method waited on their Merc Camp too. So as long as they clear out this initial caster, there it is, throwing against the turret, they'll be able to get that top lane pushing in. There's that 13 you're talking about. Method far away ahead here. And now they can pop a win whenever they would like. Alex Approach pops Wrath, Thorough goes in, will keep the charge against the wall, and Trick is going to try and force a fight.
Cleanse is already used. Alex is low, very low, gets the Ancestral and starts to go in with a Poison Spear, trying to connect here, and does, but Schwimpy, all of them low in HP. Apoc is good though, and we have Nick firing in from behind, but the resets. Genji falls after he takes down Leoric, can't capitalize on it. We have Alex falling as well on Sonya. Rhaegar is down. Diablo dies, but he has the souls, and Tyrael drops as well. He eliminates Arcana. It's a 2-for-4 trade, 3-for-4, but with Diablo coming back, we will still see Method securing the next Punisher in the game.
A decent attempt there from Trick Esport, but Tychus just was not touched that entire fight. Able to pick how he wanted to engage. The APOC hitting multiple members, getting big AoE in, and then of course he focused on Genji and Rhaegar. The fight just fell apart from Trick Esport, especially being at a talent disadvantage, and Method will be able to finish this Punisher up soon. They're already at 39. Check this out. Look at Tychus.
This fight was absolutely brutal. Tychus definitely has the best shot at all of this. Sanctification was actually great, and then they go in deep. Maka's trying to get the kills. You know, if he doesn't fall there, if they don't kill Maka, then he will probably be able to clear all of this up. But he just got taken out by Tychus just as he gets the first resets and dashes out. And then, of course, at that point, everybody just explodes and dies. It's just a massive slaughter. It's a bloodbath here.
How come when I play Odin, people don't? Or leave me alone? Why don't people ignore me when I'm playing Odin? Like, what is this? I feel like I'm being dived upon. I'm praying that my Arthas will pop Frozen Tempest. Like
the keys that
Drake
you don't
Lance
is already used. Alex is low, very low, gets the Ancestral and starts to go in
that
guy. With a poison
Hey.
connect here and does, but Shrimpy, all of them low in HP. APOC is good. APOC, that was a good one. Firing in from behind, but the resets. Genji falls after he takes down Leoric, can't capitalize on it. We have Alex falling as well on Sonya. Rhaegar is down. Diablo dies, but he has the souls, and Tyrael.
That was sick. That was great.
That was really cool.
Punisher pushing in the middle. Dragon Zero comes out, landing on multiple people. Blaze will drop down the bunker to force it engage. Fire being spit out everywhere. Here's the Apocalypse, landing on one member. Genji getting locked down. Rimmer also low on health. Finally, an Ancestor healing will come on out, but Alex approaching the front line is actually chunking.
Tricked! Kirsten is about to fall, and he goes down as Hanzo commits to the kill. Nice move. Tricked all of a sudden, starting to make the plays here. I mean, we had the big battle already over the last shrine, but now we have a double kill by Tricked Esports, and that Punisher didn't really do enough. No. But Method is so close to 16, so Tricked is, let's put it like this, Tricked is really putting the works in at this point. They're really trying to come back into the game here, into the map, but Method will claim the early level 16, and that's really what I'm afraid of, because especially Diablo's power spike is going to be such a big game changer.
Rimmer comes in to help out against Shrimpy. Shrimpy didn't pop the Wraith Walk. Tricked will have the chance to get 16. You mentioned the 16 coming earlier for Method, which is very, very true, obviously. But with them defending that Punisher, they should be in an okay spot. Alex Proteus, though, gets caught out of position. And a throw goes in, and that will secure a death. That makes it a bit harder to get that 16.
And that was a 16 talent of Diablo. Exactly that. Getting dominance on 16, that was really the moment or what allowed them to get the kill. And that's what I was afraid of for them. And they're going to try and get another one here now too. Arcana is already there. Remabola trying to jump out, and they escape. Clutch call, but they get out. 16 talent is there. This time the shrine will be up at the top. Oh, it's going to be rough for Trick to try and turn this around.
They have to have patience here, because the waves are pushed out the middle and bottom, but Leo is getting that wave pushed in. Mercenary camp to push to the top.
To be fair, I actually think they're going to have 16 around the fight.
Oh yeah,
it's just that they lose the camps that they would normally try and take. They lose a lot of the, like they're losing a lot of experience already, and the lanes were pushed out against them, so that's a big problem. They can't really fight anything until now. And even Genji finds himself in a bit of trouble. Needs to be very sneaky here. He hides and will be able to swift strike out, and yeah, just simply commits with the quickly over the wall, but they are very heavily pressured, but they still keep their hopes up. With level 16, they have a chance to fight for the top.
Yep, level 16, they'll be able to fight. They also will have decent defense too, because they still have keeps. So that's good news for Trick Esport. The Method definitely controlling the map here, and is pretty far ahead in terms of map control. Shrine activates. Method gets the bottom lane pushing it, as well as the middle lane between mercenary camps. Trick trying to hold their own here, but they might get engaged upon as a throw scouts them out.
And again, here comes dominance into play. Rema low. Bunker already used. Can he get the Entomb? Entomb here should be easy, and he gets two. They're moving in. Shrimpy, on the other hand, about to fall. The APOC is already popping off as he Grandpa get a falling, and he's not the only one. Grandpa is down first, but we see Tychus explode just a second later. The kill against Tyrael. Hanzo is down. Leoric is dying. It's a massive slaughter here, as we see once again Method walking away with a team fight victory.
Maka trying to escape, but he finally gets taken out. Only one member stands. Alex Aproji barely gets away. But this push is now available for Method. They have a Punisher for the taking. They have a mini wave already pushing in the middle. They have a big wave pushing bottom that can work on this turret as well. Big clean kills there for Method.
First impulse was probably try and go for keep. But again, you are in a situation where if you move on to the lanes, you take all the experience and you go up to the top, you will hit 20 with a Punisher, and that's what they're doing now.
This arrow missing really hurt. Tricky Sport deciding, okay, it's time to pull away. Maka gets a little bit more harassment, but Schwimpy comes in with the Entomb, the immediate follow for the APOC, landing on 2. Nick does get focused down here on the Odin.
Yeah, that's actually where they did the best play. Trick focusing down Odin was super important, and we also saw the Divine Shield that was on Leoric trying to keep Schwimpy in play for longer. That, of course, was missing as Odin or Tychus was attacked here. But now we have a fantastic position for Method, where they are trying to get experience, so they are most likely going to wait before they capture the Punisher at the top, gonna push it to 39 points, 39 minions, and then they're gonna try and delay it until level 20 is just in reach for them. Yeah, Schwimpy moves away on 38, so they're going to try and get the experience that they can attack with the Storm Talons.
The only risk here is you have to make sure that you don't get picked off. Trick Esport knows that you're waiting to get to level 20, so they should move as a unit, and they are doing so. Clear out the middle. As soon as they see Tyrael and Hans at the top, then they'll be a bit safer. Schwimpy even moving a bit aggressive here to catch the next wave of experience. And that will get them towards that 19 3/4. Good patience here, good clean play from Method. Trick unable to find a spot to move in for a fight. They're just soaking what they can.
And now we have the Storm Talons in reach. And that's when they can move to the top. We're going to wait for 20, and that is really rough for Trick. Trick is going to try and... I don't think they can fight before that. They're looking for a fight. They're trying to get it. But it's doubtful that Method is going to allow for it to happen.
Should be coming with the scout. And yep, Method just playing a little bit too safe here. Concave's out, goes around the long way, heads up to their Punisher. They're bringing Blaze up as well. Great. Level 20. Smart play. Something you can definitely adopt in your own play if you're playing with a team. Try to make sure you have the best advantage possible to push in. And now it's all about pushing in for that keep. And a level 20 Entomb coming online. This is deadly.
Yeah, and this is really the moment where Method wants to go for game. So Trick has to muster everything and throw everything against him. They won't have 20. If one of them get caught, then it's over here. So they need to be careful.
Schwimpy goes in, looking for that catch you were talking about. Nobody available. Tricky Sports nice to set up. Punisher jumps in, will hit Rimmer. Kirsten goes in and dive on him.
The arrow comes in, hits Schwimpy. Schwimpy on the way out. Hits the Entomb, Ancestral comes through, so far so good, but Diablo, again with the engage, the APOC is already out, great Sanctification, saving Tyrael for now. They're trying to get the kill, they might even get it, but somehow, somewhere, Schwimpy is still alive. Make about to move out, and Ethereal puts him back into the fight. Ethereal himself now with a Divine Shield, everybody still surviving. Only Uther falling, and he still has Redemption up.
He's gonna heal everyone up here.
They're actually holding for now.
They are. Great control. Rimmer with a great certification there keeps Sonya alive. Ancestor healing as well. A throw dives on Crosby, but Crosby barely gets over the wall, sliding away.
What an impressive defense.
Incredibly well done.
Yeah, the entire time it looked like they would fall. Crosby might still die, but they hold for now, and that is actually fantastic. We saw so many heroes nearly dying, and then the Ancestral came through. We saw the Sanctification used at the last moment. Shields and heals coming out. Yes, Hanzo falls, but still, they were able to hold the core. And that's the most important part against level 20 and the big Punisher. They might lose out on the keep in the mid lane as well. It's really tough to engage into this in a 4 versus 5 against Storm Talons. But as long as they can hold the core, they're fine.
Here goes the second keep. Catapults the middle lane, top lane. 19.5 for Church Esports. They are getting closer to level 20. Method makes a decision. We have minion waves. Let's push in the middle lane. Let's see if we can maybe get a pick. We have another Entomb available.
And they're going for it again. At this point, the Entomb is there. They're trying to go straight for the game again. They want to finish it right now. We're seeing them move in here. Alex is already in trouble and needs to move out. They're going for the core, and their core is about to fall.
Kiting. Bunker comes out. Hanzo's up in 5 seconds. He'll have a Dragon's Arrow. Odin is focused on the core. It's down to 60 already. Sanctification will be used.
Yeah, and they are going straight for it. This is the moment when
Arrow
Pig can drop out of the Western Clash. Arrow comes in. 16 is there. Sorry, the 20 talent, but this is game as Method goes in for the victory, secures it, and takes the 2-1 lead in the